Alright. Alright, so we live, y'all. We live. A little late to the party, feel me? But don't, feel me? Don't worry about it. We're gonna get into it. I know there's a lot on the screen. Don't mind that. Don't mind that. Oh shit. My fault. Alright. So first and foremost, y'all, it's been a minute, We checking in. We checking in. It's been a minute. Hope everybody been doing good. You feel me? This is the car channel. You feel me? Low excels. We cover everything cars. Everybody on my YouTube platform, they already know. Twitch, y'all might be new to this. TikTok, y'all already know too how I get down on TikTok. You feel me? This is just the first time we're going live with it, so we just making sure everything is good on point. So for the people who've been keeping up with the live streams and people who've been keeping up with YouTube in general, I mentioned to y'all, this had to be about like a month and a half ago. I told y'all, I'm like, yo, gas cars is great. You feel me? And I think a lot of manufacturers are going to do their best to keep them around for as long as they can, right? But I told y'all, the moment these electric car developers and manufacturers find out how to make a car have around 5, 6, 700 miles of range and make it under 30 to probably under 20 minutes to charge, combustion engines are in trouble. You feel me? And not to the car heads, like for the most part, like people like us in a sense, but to the people who just need a car to go to point A to point B. You feel me? Now, you think there's a lot of electric cars on the road now, but the moment they find out this technology, that's when they're gonna go crazy with it. You feel me? So now the title of this video, we speaking of Mercedes Benz, you feel me? Now Mercedes is trying to get their steps and their feet in this electrical car field like seriously now. And I think they're doing it very strategic. I ain't gonna lie. I think this is the smarter way to do it. You feel me? I think a lot of people came out and just jumped out the window and was like, yeah, I'm gonna jump out and make my flagship model an electric car, which is crazy. You feel me? Like, I don't understand why you would do that. But what they're doing, as you'll see now, when we check out the screen, they're making the new CLA all electric. Now, why didn't they do this out the gate before they did that whole EQS, all of that BS? I don't know. But this right here makes sense. The people who were in the market for CLAs, they weren't people who would have something to lose. For example, going from a C63 with a V8 to then going to a 4-cylinder. You feel me? Those people, that market, you just slapped them in the face. You feel me? People who was buying Mercedes that appreciated them, they was like, yo, what are you doing? And that really turned a lot of people off from the brand of Mercedes. But now they're like, okay, we're going to drop. So I don't know if y'all seen, we'll talk about that too. They dropped the E53 AMG and they gave it a twin turbocharged, I believe. I think it's twin turbocharged V6 that move close to around 600 horsepower. You can get 600 or it's like 580 if you press a button and go to 6. You feel me? So that made sense. And being that it's an E53 and not an E63, again, that makes sense as well because it allows people to look at it like, well, there might be light at the end of the tunnel. You might spin the block and drop a V8 on it and not just deal with this V6. Who knows? But when you gonna just go straight from a V8 like in the the C63, and then you put a four-cylinder engine in it, like that's just disrespectful. You feel me? So I feel like they're trying to revamp their brand in a way that makes sense for them to be able to say, yeah, we jumped the gun. You feel me? We did a little things that we shouldn't have did, but now we got a better and broader understanding of what we're trying to do and where this thing is going. So now let's make it make sense and appeal to the cars that these people were buying to go to point A to point B. You feel me? Because anybody that got a CLA, they just like Mercedes. They like that it looks good. You feel me? Interior wise. Out exterior, it ain't nothing too crazy, but they look at it like, yo, it's a Benz. They want to carry that Benz key. You feel me? So you can still carry a Benz key even though it's an EV and get to point A to B. You feel me? And I think the CLA is the perfect car for it. So let's get into it. So this article starts off with saying range anxiety will go away. How the Mercedes CLA sedan could upend Americans' views on EVs. Americans have two demands when buying electric vehicles: extended range and rapid charging time. That's what I told y'all. I told y'all this already. Like we spoke on that. You feel me? Make sure you give me in 4K type. You feel me? I told you this. That's what people is worried about. German automaker Mercedes Benz may have a solution: the upcoming electric CLA sedan. The vehicle, available later this year in dealers, offers the longest range and best charging performance of any Mercedes model. A Mercedes board member and its chief technology officer had mentioned this. Range and battery charging are crucial elements for buyers. Facts. Another hesitation is charging network availability. Facts. And in some countries, it's the cost of energy. Now that's an X factor, y'all. Personally, that's the biggest issue with this. The more and more people that go EV, they're going to just flip the script and probably turn it into what it is to pay for gas. You feel me? Right now, you have a situation where you can charge off-peak hours and save money. You feel me? But when you're not on your on-peak hours, you're really not saving too much money comparison to a gas car anyway. So I can only imagine if you give even more and more, hundreds of thousands of people more electric cars, they're probably going to find some type of way to get that out of here. So that could be an issue, which would be stupid because it's like we're just going in a circle. But you already know at the end of the day, it's to fill their pockets regardless. So, you just going to have to pivot however you need to do it. But, and in some countries, all right, so cool. The CLA can travel nearly 500 miles on a single charge, according to Mercedes. Now that sounds great. Will it do it? Most likely not. But it can come close. If it even comes close to 500, that's a very, very good improvement comparison to a lot of electrical cars that's out right now. Underneath the sedan shell is an 800-volt electrical architecture, which allows the 48-volt lithium-ion battery to recoup roughly 200 miles in 10 minutes. That's major. A lot of people not doing that right now. DC fast charging up to 320 kilowatt is possible too. My bad, I'm messing up. Some customers wish charging was as fast as filling up a gasoline car. Of course, it's our vision for an EV to charge like fuel. We're pushing the limits of what is possible with the CLA. Range anxiety will go away. Once again, it sounds good, but will y'all really do that though? And you see the car, I think this is definitely an improvement from what it used to be. I mean, the CLA was never attractive to me, but what Mercedes has done, which is smart but also lazy at the same time, is they managed to say, what car do y'all like the most? Okay, y'all like that? Y'all like that S-Class? All right, I'm going to make everything in our fleet look like the S-Class. It's just going to be smaller. So you like that, you should like this, right? That's technically what they did. But again, this doesn't look bad from what I can see. Schaefer insisted that the latest iteration of the CLA can change Americans' attitudes on EVs. The company, however, is not entirely abandoning internal combustion. So like I mentioned before, the E53, they just dropped that. They didn't even drop the E63 yet. So what does that tell you? They ain't going to make that electric. They can't. They'd be stupid. The CLA will also be sold as a high-performance hybrid next year. Interesting. Customers have the flexibility. It's the best of both worlds. I agree. Official Environment Protection Agency range estimates for the CLA are coming. The current numbers advertised by Mercedes are based on the European WLTP standard for measuring fuel consumption and range. Mercedes is also in the process of building 350 kilowatt proprietary charging stations across the U.S. for its customers, which, again, it sounds good. It sounds good. So, for example, what a lot of people have been doing, or what Tesla has been doing, and I know a lot of people hate Tesla right now, but whatever, we ain't gonna get into that. but they've been allowing their chargers to be used across multiple platforms of other electrical vehicles. So for Tesla people, it could be an issue sometimes because it's like, hey, what are you doing over here? You don't even have a Tesla. These is for us, and we already packed. But in the long run, it could potentially lead to more money, which can then lead to more charging stations in different areas where there are not a lot of charging stations. So it's like no matter what, we can use more electric stations throughout the world in general, just because they'll never equate to the gas stations that's out right now. So that could potentially expedite the process because they're getting more money coming in, so they could potentially buy more. So that could be their main objective, who knows? Or they could just be tied to getting everybody to go electric, which I mean is understandable, but I think it would be more so the first than the second. Um, okay, where was we at? Okay, cool. So an EV specialist and contributing editor at Car and Driver said EVs are evaluated differently in the U.S. The EPA's stringent testing criteria could mean a 20% to 30% reduction in the CLA's quoted range. See what I'm saying? Plus, real-world scenarios could affect optimistic charging speeds. See, at least he being transparent, y'all. Like, don't tell us, yo, the sky gonna be golden and you gonna get gold tomorrow, but then not tell us that's if it rains, and it rains and the heat is gonna be at a certain degree, then you'll get the money. Because if it don't do that, then you ain't gonna get it all. Like, you feel me? Like, lay it on the table, let us know. Because again, if it said that they're gonna do 500 range with this electric car, 9 times out of 10, when you add the battery degradation to it, you probably gonna do closer to like 440. You feel me? 450 maybe. But still, that is actually not bad for an electric car. You see what I'm saying? There's not a lot of gas combustion cars that's doing that 430, 450 miles on one tank. Some can, but not many. You feel me? Especially cars that are fast cars. You see what I'm saying? You might get that in an economy car, but not a fast car that's actually fun to drive. So that could be a difference maker. The CLA's touted charging time comes with a bucket of asterisks, which is true. The battery has to be preconditioned. That's a fact. Or warmed up to the right temperature. There has to be charging stations. There has to be a charging station that can deliver 800 volts consistently. Again, that's true. The ambient temperature has to be right. I don't know how realistic that charging statement is. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could respect this. You could respect it. Like, whenever there's so much yes men, you feel me, it never works. Because it's like, bro, if we just go with everything that you're saying and we fall in the ground, we gonna be falling to the ground because we had nobody else that was saying, yo, you need a rope to go down there. Don't do that because you're gonna fall in the ground. You see what I'm saying? So he's asking the right questions and pointing out things that's really important. Volker, however, suggested that the CLA could become the company's first volume EV. I agree, because that's the car that should have been the EV from the jump. You feel me? Like, why are you doing all this other stuff and putting huge screens? Like, that should have never been your concern. Whatever. Mercedes EQ series has not sold like gangbusters. Not at all. Here, and they are expensive, which is stupid. The company, though, has learned a lot from its first generation of EVs, which I believe. Mercedes also has an easier audience to sell EVs to. Their customers are educated and more willing to try new things. There's definitely some truth to that. Pricing of the new CLA models have not yet been announced, but Volker said the Trump administration tariffs on foreign automakers could make the entry-level model even more expensive. The current CLA model starts at $44,000 in the U.S. So that right there is very important, because I'll be honest, I would never spend 40 anything on a CLA. That's just crazy to me. There's a lot of different options you can have for that if we just dealing with the gas car. Now, if you're dealing with an electric car, I'm still not going to spend that money on it because, again, there's still more competition that you can buy for it. But if you're doing 500 miles of range and it's tested and we have proof of it, it definitely does become more enticing. And I can only assume that that would possibly hold better value than some other electric car brands, because, you know, you have some car manufacturers who are making electric cars, economy electric cars, and then some who are making super luxury electric cars. And as far as Tesla goes, you already know they're following a minimalistic plan, and they're not doing too much on the interior to really draw in a lot of the people who love luxury items. You feel me? They're just bringing in the people who are in this niche, who just wants, again, a point A to point B car that's nice, but it doesn't have to be the nicest thing on the interior. You feel me? So I think especially right now would be a great time for Mercedes to really follow this plan and drop it, because as you see, there's a lot of people who are hating on Elon Musk. There's a lot of people who are hating on Tesla right now. And Tesla up to this point has never had a comparable person in position to be valid competition for them to really make them step their game up. Now in China, that's a whole different story. We're not even going to talk about them yet. But in China, they have EVs that can kill what we got out here. You feel me? But now, as you see, we talking about tariffs. You know, a lot of them cars will never come out here, because that would cost them a lot of money on the back end, and it would force the U.S. to really, really lock in and be like, yo, we need to go crazy, because they just making us look like stupid. They making us look out of touch. They making us look like we never knew what we was doing in the first place. You feel me? So when it comes to electric cars, they know what they're doing. So they kind of gotta pick it up. But this is a good sign in the right direction. And again, we're not pro-electric everything over here, but it's cool to know that technology is going in the right direction, possibly for things like this to be better than what they are now. You feel me? Like, that's really what it is at the end of the day. So Vice President of Data and Analysis at JD Power said the CLA has many advantages over its competitors, including the Tesla Model 3. The numbers are spectacular, quite frankly, which is, I agree. We're seeing now the evolution of EVs. Mercedes can't pack any more into this vehicle. There are very few downsides. One potential drawback, it's not an SUV. Americans' interest in sedans continues to shrink, according to whatever. It won't satisfy everyone's utility needs. Excuse me. But for anyone looking to buy an EV sedan, they should check out this vehicle. Battery electric vehicles make up 9.6% of the U.S. market right now, up nearly 2% from the same period a year ago. What kind of name is this, bro? Gemini predicts 2025 will be a reset year for EVs despite the upward tick in sales. There's some truth to that. It's a tough environment for EVs, he said. Even Tesla has been aggressive with its pricing. Americans are learning to come around to EVs, but it's taking a long time. So I think I mentioned this in another video as well. So the issue with this is, if the top person who's selling everything says, you know what, I see a lot of y'all little people out here trying to eat, and y'all got some good deals. I have the better product, and I'm going to give you the better deal. And maybe might not have the better product, but I have the more known, talked about product, and I'm going to give them a better deal. So that's kind of what's been happening in the car market right now, and it's kind of been an issue for a lot of different people, including just dealerships in general. When Tesla continues to drop their prices on all of their cars, and they give all of these rebates, and they give all of these deals to jump in them, it makes the competition have to follow suit, because now Tesla was already hogging a lot of the marginal share when it comes to electric vehicles. So now once you're dropping the prices of those, and these other car manufacturers are trying to get you in their EVs for the first time, but you may have already had one Tesla, possibly, who knows. Now when they're doing all of these rebates and all of these deals, you're gonna cash in with them. You feel me? Now, mind you, if you hate Elon and Tesla, that's a whole different topic, which is why I also feel like this is the best time for this right now. But still, if that's not really a big issue for you, you're going to jump into a Tesla. You feel me? Because now it just makes sense. It makes a lot of sense financially to jump into Tesla right now. Even a newer one. Not to buy, but to lease. You feel me? So if you got lease deals, you got finance deals, you got all types of deals, you're now taking money off of the table for these other car manufacturers. And now when you do that, they can only try to compete while reducing their prices. And when you do that, then the people who initially paid top dollar for these top trim electric cars are looking back like, yo, what is you doing? Yo, my car was $80,000. Now it's worth $50,000 because you keep slashing these prices in half, and now people can jump in the market and get a new car like mine for half the price. And you keep killing the resale value of these cars. And I think more than anything, that's what's pissing a lot of people off. So it's like it's a two-edged sword. You feel me? Like you're winning on one end, but you're killing yourself on the other end, because the people who really started with you, who took a risk on you, who really spent a lot of money to deal with you and support your product, you kind of like saying, F y'all, I'm for the people who never even experienced me yet. And that's really how a lot of business is conducted. And it's unfortunate because without those people, them foot soldiers, to really jump in these cars and spend that big money up front, we never would have known anything. We wouldn't have known that this car could do this or this car can do that, and it looked like this and looked like that. You feel me? We needed those people to be active to do what they did, for the second owners and the third owners to come in and be like, oh, I think that makes sense now. Let me buy that after, the depreciation that hit it. But now, like I said, for them, they in debt thousands of dollars because they jumped out the window and bought it when it was the fresh new thing on the market. And now they looking at the brand crazy because they don't have any more value in their car. You see what I'm saying? So that's the unfortunate thing. And I think that EVs is definitely going to have to find a middle ground there and just stay true to their prices. But which is why we talking about this. I do think this is a step in the right direction because, like I mentioned before, if all EV manufacturers come out and say, yo, at minimum, you're going to get 500 miles. We can go at maximum 700, 800 miles on one charge. And it's only going to take you, 10 to 30 minutes to charge from 0 to 100. You feel me? They start doing that, I think the value of these cars can stay higher because it's really going to be an asset for you to jump in these cars. Because you're going to save you're going to save thousands of dollars a year, you feel me, just fueling your car up comparison to an internal combustion engine, especially if you have a charger at your house, you feel me? So now you're not even going to a quote unquote supercharger or something that may cost you a little more. You're able to do that at the house. So really, you'll never have to go nowhere else to charge your car unless you're on like a road trip, you feel me? So I think that can definitely be something beneficial because at the place where we're at now, these cars advertise low threes, sometimes higher fours, but once the battery degradation hits these cars, it's never that. It'll never get to that number. So that's been an issue, you feel me? And that's drawing a lot of people away from electric cars and this whole thing. And I do feel like they should have jumped into it slower because them doing this so quickly, like they knew what they was doing, and like everybody was just supposed to drop all of their gas cars and just go straight electric. I think that was bad. That was bad on all manufacturers' parts, and they just looked at Tesla and it was like, yo, if it's working for them, make it work for me. But it was like it wasn't really like that. You feel me? And I think every brand or car manufacturer should have came out initially with their lowest trim vehicle and said, let's take a sacrifice on this. Let's not spend more money to create something completely new that we don't even know if people know. You feel me? Like, let's not kill our top sports sedan, you feel me, that everyone loved, that had a cult following. Let's not do that. Let's start with our lowest, cheapest trim. Let's make it possibly a hybrid first. And then let's make one electric car out of that. And then let's see how people take that. And then from there, then we can go up the ladder. They started at the top of the ladder and now they trying to come down. Stupid, but whatever, I digress. Range and battery charging times are not the only selling points for the CLA. It's also the first model to operate on the new Mercedes Benz operating system, making it the most intelligent vehicle built by Mercedes. Owners can easily engage with the vehicle's virtual assistant, which, according to the company, is intelligent, easy to talk to, and empathetic like a friend. See, now when you start doing that, that's when we start like, yo, relax. We ain't looking for all these robots to have genuine conversations with us. We're not looking for our car to understand how we feel and how our day was. Like, now you taking it too far to the right. Like, let's just chill. Give me an electric car that I can save money with, that I don't gotta go to the gas station with, that's also fast and also practical. and let me deal with that. I don't need all this computer stuff talking to me like a friend. I don't want you to be my friend. I want you to be my car. It's simple. What are you doing? That's when they just take it a little too far. So we gotta it come with the territory, unfortunately, but that's when it be like, okay. AI will revolutionize the entire user experience. The virtual assistant is superior. Customers will love it. You feel me? Like once you add that, we can go off on a tangent on that alone, y'all. Like I ain't gonna lie. Like once, like that's not a good way to end this. You feel me? Like that's not cool. We don't want that. That's extra. We don't see the movies. We know how this story goes. You feel me? So yeah, I'm not big on that part. So yeah, let's we're done. We're done with that. We're done with that so far. Okay, so let's just check this out real quick. Um the E53. Alright, so if y'all didn't see yet, or y'all lacking. Hate these damn pop-ups. Wait, did I opt in or am I opting out? That's misleading. I don't know if that means I'm opting in or opting out. I got my chat up, man. Right. Yeah, my boy said ain't nobody trying. Yeah, feel you, bro. Yeah, I ain't gonna lie to you. We'll figure it out. Whatever. I hope this don't be sending me stuff. Then please visit. I think I gotta hit this to do that. Disable these technologies. Dang, I'm sorry, my brother. I ain't gonna be able to do that for you. Not gonna be able to do that for you. All right. Let's see here. Let's see. Go to the gallery. All right. So this right here is the new. Hold on. This right here is the new. It's the new Benz, yeah. The turbo hybrid. So remember, this got a V6 in it. It's not electric. Okay. I think it looked good. A lot of attention to detail, got the emblem in the lights and stuff. You feel me? Look. Now it's funny because I would like to know who asked for all of this shit. Like for real. Who said like, yo, when I get in my car, I want the biggest screen. Not only for the speedometer, but for the infotainment. And then I want LEDs all around the whole car. Everything. Now, when we modding our stuff and modding our cars, tuning our cars, we'll do a little bit here and there. But when you go excessive with it, to me, when I see this, I just see them having another way to add an extra $30,000 to $40,000 on a car. Could be less, but whatever. You get what I'm saying. It's unnecessary. You adding stuff that we never asked for. Just make a car great. Just make the car great. That's all you gotta do. We ain't gotta let us do this. We can get this on aftermarket on Amazon if we really want to do it. Like, let's be real, y'all. We don't need all of this, but guess what? You paying for this if you buy this car. I promise you that. Interior. Oh yeah, it got the screen on the passenger side. Once again, like, who asking for that, man? Like, we are in a phone era right now. You feel me? We are in a phone era. If you don't make your infotainment as simple as a phone, it's never going to be outused more than someone's phone. Look at this. You got a screen right here. The person who's in this passenger seat, what you think they're going to do? You think they're going to be using this screen or they're going to be on their phone? What you think? Like, now if you're taking a long trip, maybe. You see what I'm saying? But I just think that's extra, and I don't think many people ask for that. See what I'm saying? So, but the interior is decent. I'm not a big fan of these like out of place huge screens. I feel like they should be integrated in the dash. I think that looks better, but all manufacturers are pretty much doing that now, which is unfortunate. I just look at it as a lazy way to put a car together. You feel me? You got all your flagship models. Like if you're gonna do this on your cheap models. You feel me? Because you didn't want to craft the wood or whatever you're using to make the dash. You didn't want to do that with the cheap models. I can understand that. But when you spending money on something like this, and it's one of the top trims, bro, fit this into the dash. Like, make it look good. Don't just look like, oh, I put the iPad here. I put an iPad in them. Like, it looked tacky. It looked out of place. It looked rushed. It looks like, come on, man, you could have did better. But overall, I do think this car is nice. I ain't gonna lie. I do think the car is nice overall. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I think it's a decent size. It's probably heavy. You feel me? At least definitely comparison to cars that are actually this size. You feel me? I guess these are the wheel options you can get with it. Right, but I don't think it's a bad looking car. I really don't. I think it's okay, yeah, this is just that. All right. Yeah, I think it's cool. Let me see. Do they got the performance specs up here? Okay, yeah, so this is what I'm saying. So the naturally balance of an inline six joins forces with a twin scroll turbo and hybrid electric motor to generate 577 horsepower and 553 pound-feet of torque. In standard form, the AMG enhanced power plant can deliver 60 miles per hour in 3.9 seconds. With the AMG Dynamic Plus package, a 604 horsepower burst can cut that to 3.7 seconds. So, I'll be honest, it's cool, but it's like, why do I have to press a button to get more power for a short period of time and then it's gone forever until I'm able to use it again? Like, why couldn't you just make the car like that the whole time? You feel me? Like, I don't get that. You feel me? Like, it's just weird to me. You could have did it the whole time, but you chose to make it a button and be limited for a very short period of time. It's already bad enough that a lot of electric cars are forcing you to get a subscription or purchase something after you buy the car to make a car faster or to open it up. Because the car already had that. And I already paid top dollar for it. But now you want me to pay something else or pay you monthly for something that the car technically could do this whole time? And I already paid for the car, but now you want it? Like, come on, man. You in my pockets, man. Like, stop. See, I hate when, like, it's like y'all too greedy, man. Y'all too greedy. But this is the world we live in. It is what it is. You gotta get that bag, man. Because as you see, any chance they get, they're gonna try to get money out of you. 100%. It's life. It's how it go. Let's see. The P2 Performance Hybrid System integrates a 161 horsepower electric motor with the transmission. High power density can deliver 354 pound-feet of torque from the first rev, or up to 42 miles of gas-free driving. Now, the 42 miles of gas-free driving is cool, but like I mentioned before, if you have a car that has a gas engine and you can get 42 miles without even cutting that engine on, that's decent. I ain't gonna lie, that's decent. If you live close to your job, you can probably do a round trip and feel confident about that and not getting stuck somewhere if you were low on gas as well. Or if you was just trying to save money. But I think they can do better. You feel me? Why not? Let's make that number 100, but still keep the gas power car. Now, I'm sure it can do it, but that'll probably make the car weigh, who knows, an extra 500 pounds, which would be crazy. But I just think, little things like that can make a huge difference. That can make more people be like, yo, I really want a hybrid. Or, yo, I always been thinking about going electric. You feel me? Because right now, we not there. But yeah, I think that would be cool. But yeah, that's it. That's the car. This is what it looked like moving. You feel me? I think it's nice. I do. I've never been the biggest Mercedes fan, but I do love Mercedes still at the end of the day. They got a lot of models that I've known since I was younger, since I was a kid, you feel me, that I would definitely enjoy, when the time is right. I would definitely invest, you feel me? But today I feel like they are doing a lot of extra stuff that no one asked for, but at the same time, with what we just went over with the CLA and knowing that they just came out with this car, it shows to me that they heard the people, and I think they have a better understanding of what they want to do now. I think for the past few years they was freestyling. You feel me? Like, yo, let's see what this stick. Is this a hit? Y'all rocking with this? And it's like, nah, we not rocking with none of that. Matter of fact, we not rocking with it so much. We're gonna really just downplay everything you've done up to this point to really like shit on your whole history. You feel me? Like yo, when y'all lost, y'all been lost for years. You feel me? So I think this is a good sign. I think this will lead to more sales, and it gives anticipation for the people to wait and want the E63, because you know what's gonna come out. They're not gonna just drop the E53 and be like, okay, we're done. They're gonna see how this car is selling, because it's probably already in the works anyway. But they're gonna see how this sells initially, and whenever they drop that CLA, they'll see about that as well. And that 63 will come. I think it'll probably come even before that. You feel me? It might come before the CLA, possibly. Who knows? But I think that will be cool to see, and it's gonna be very expensive. So if you ain't got a bag, don't even think about it. You feel me? Don't even think about it. But who knows? It might have a good leasing plan. You feel me? Like, I'll be honest, y'all. Like, it to me, it just doesn't make sense to purchase a brand new car. Feel me? Like, whether you do cash or you do financing. If it's a brand new car, the year that we're in, you're getting that. If you're purchasing it like for finance, like, that just doesn't make sense. Because that means, like, you're the guinea pig. You're the guy who had to take that hit. We chilling, watching you enjoy yourself because you thought like you was the hottest on the block because you got the latest year or something. But we know it hit your pockets, and we waiting for you to have your little fun in it and return it. And then once we see it, like, if that value ain't dropped too much, we'll wait for the next person to pick it up. Let them enjoy it a little bit. Make sure they ain't killing it. They ain't kill it. They put that back on the lot. Okay, you know what? I think it's my time. Let me jump in. You feel me? Sharing is caring in the car world. As long as you take care of it. You feel me? All right. So yeah, we done with this. Let me see something. Cause my chat's be all over the place. I ain't gonna cap to you. All right. All right. Let me see. Is there anything else we had to discuss with Mercedes? What else have they done? I feel like they did it. Oh shit, my bad. I feel like they did. Oh yeah. So the whole tariff thing, I thought we kind of talked about that a little bit, but if we didn't, we can talk about that real quick. So the tariffs, y'all. Apparently, it's a real thing. They say it's coming now this month, possibly. And if it does, what that means is you're gonna have to pay extra tax on what has already been the effed up economy for the past 4 to 5 years, really. You're gonna have to spend even more money to get these cars because they're coming from different countries. And because of that, a lot of car manufacturers have been loading up to bring in cars into the country now, so they have high inventory so they don't have to pay taxes to get them from these people who are creating them. So it's going to trickle down. If it's hitting the main plug And now the main plug was selling to these people, and it's selling it hits everybody. It hurts everybody. You feel me? So I mean, I understand as to why he potentially did it, but I don't want to really get into the politics too much. It's just at the end of the day, it means we're gonna have to pivot. We're gonna have to pivot. So if you're thinking about buying a new car, you can get it like literally now, or you can just wait because I don't necessarily know when. They've been saying these tariffs are supposed to be coming all year, technically. They ain't come yet. It's like they keep delaying it, but I know they coming. So if you wait until the tariffs are actually here, 9 times out of 10, it's gonna hit the car market and everything gonna go up. And when I say everything, I mean the used cars too. This is not just for cars coming into the country. This is cars that's been here, cars that are older cars. Because what it's gonna do is it's gonna force people to say, you know what? F a new car, I'm good. Let me check to see these cars that got 2 owners on them, possibly 3 owners on them. You feel me? Let me check what that look like. Because that car done already got hit with depreciation. Let me spin the block and buy that. Now, the more and more people who do that, the dealership isn't stupid. They know, okay, yeah, no, we got something good that y'all want right now. Y'all not willing to spend that top dollar for none of these top trim cars, these brand new cars. So yeah, come over here. But guess what? You come over here, I'm gonna hit you now because I know value is up. It's kind of gonna be like similar to what 2021 was, like after the pandemic, where everything went up and the economy was like in a real bad situation. I believe it's gonna be something similar to that. Hopefully, we can get a control over it and it doesn't get as bad as it was. But that's really being optimistic. You feel me? I don't necessarily know. It could get worse before it gets even better. You never know. But yeah, if you're looking to get a car, if you're not getting it now and you're gonna wait, you might as well wait longer to see how these tariffs really affect everybody because it's gonna be something serious. Trump is set to impose a 25% tariff on auto imports Wednesday, alongside a series of reciprocal tariffs on countries around the globe, expected to take effect Thursday. Now, mind you, they be saying this sometimes, but they be capping sometimes. You feel me? You never know. The newly announced tariffs are designed to boost American auto manufacturing and jobs by financially penalizing imports. The thing is, you got to look at it like this, right? Like we didn't already got rid of a lot of workers here that was doing the jobs that a lot of people didn't want to do. Now you're going to bring more jobs here for people, right? Which is great. But there's less people in these fields doing these jobs. Now, you open these jobs up, that's fine. Are you going to pay them twice as good as the jobs that were here before that were doing similar to the same things? Because now their demand is going to be higher than it was before. So are you going to just work these people to the bone and keep that same amount of pay that you was paying them previously when it was less demand? Or are these jobs going to be truly desirable that's going to get people in these jobs that's going to really want to do the work and actually do good work? You feel me? That's going to be a question that needs to be answered. Who knows? Let's see. Around 50% of Mercedes Benz Group's global vehicle sales were in the United States last year. 15%, yeah. You see what I'm saying? The German luxury automaker said Trump's tariffs would dent its profit margin by 2.5 percentage points on a gross basis without mitigation measures that can include cutting the sales of its entry-level models in the U.S. and offering only its higher-end vehicles, sources told. And that would be a situation. That would be an issue. Like many automakers, Mercedes Benz could also raise the price of vehicles to avoid the impact of tariffs, which they will. Don't say you could potentially. You know you're going to do that. Stop it. During an investors call on Monday, executives and the automaker said that the company was also building inventory at wholesale and dealer lots to get ahead of the tariffs, which is what I was mentioning before. As a global company, or this is what they was talking about, Mercedes Group spokesman, As a global company, we rely on constrictive cooperation and policies that promote mutually beneficial trade across international markets. Try to be politically right. Trump told NBC on Saturday, I couldn't care less if they raise prices on foreign made vehicles because people are going to start buying American cars. So here we go again. The American thing, right? Now I feel you. I feel you. Your intentions is, yo, we want American, everything American. And I feel you. But my question is, if you're forcing people to buy more American vehicles, are you forcing more workers to do better at their job? Are you getting more quality parts for these American cars where they can actually evenly compete with these foreign vehicles that were taking a lot of their sales? You feel me? Because we're not buying foreign vehicles because they're foreign vehicles. We're buying foreign vehicles because they're more refined in a lot of areas than American cars are. You feel me? So are you going to spend that extra time and spend that extra money to develop these cars like these foreign manufacturers develop their cars to make a better version of their car in America? If you do that, let's get it. Of course we're going to buy American, but don't keep the same quality of American cars that you've had for decades and think everyone's going to be happy now that you're making it harder to get foreign vehicles that's been better in a lot of ways than American cars. You feel me? And of course, it's not all American cars. You know, I'm sure you'll get somebody, hey, whatever. It's not all. But you know, a lot of these foreign manufacturers do their job better than a lot of Americans when it comes to making their cars. You see what I'm saying? So if you're going to put some more money into these American cars to make them better in all ways, make them more refined, I'm with it. It makes perfect sense. But don't keep things the same. Don't change something so significant over here just to keep something the same over here. No, you got to make big changes both ways, you feel me, for this to really work. But we'll see how that go. Let's see. I deeply regret the U.S. decision to impose tariffs on EU, I guess European automotive exports. Tariffs are taxes, bad for businesses, worse for consumers. Yeah, we're gonna feel it in the U.S. and the EU will continue to seek negotiating solutions while safeguarding its economic interests. President of United Auto Workers said, we applaud the Trump administration for stepping up to end the free trade disaster that has devastated working class communities for decades. Ending the race to the bottom in the auto industry starts with fixing our broken trade deals, and the Trump administration has made history with today's actions. Again, you're trying to make it sound good. And I understand what you want to do and what you're trying to do. But don't tell me that you're going to do this and make the same type of cars. And I want to shout out like Chevy, you feel me? What Chevy did with the Corvette was very, very impressive. And it was a step in the right direction. It was them saying, I'm not even competing with you American cars no more because we feel like we above you. Now, I know I might get some Ford guys in here and, you know, some Dodge guys, whatever. But still, when Chevy came out with a mid-engine C8, feel me, that they haven't done before, that competes with a lot of top trim foreign vehicles, they initially said, yo, we feel like we above everybody else in America. We trying to compete with y'all now because we know y'all got the accolades behind what y'all do. So I got to give credit to Chevy. So, but the thing is, are you going to make all your cars in Chevy like that? Or you going to just spend money on the top trims? You feel me? You getting rid of a lot of car manufacturers, you feel me? Because a lot of them is not going to want to really do that because it's not the best for their pockets, you feel me? And even if they do that, the price is going to be astronomical. So are you going to do that? Who knows? But that's the video today, y'all. You know, we definitely going to be consistent, way more consistent than we have been, dropping lives daily. We're going to, you know, change it up a little bit. We're going to mix it up. It's a new month, you feel me? So I definitely want to get a lot more content to y'all. But like I said, the content will be slightly different. But, you know, y'all definitely get in the comment section below. Let me know what y'all would like to see as well. You know, because we're going to talk about a lot of different car stuff. But we're going to talk about different car brands daily. You feel me? And we're going to just be in tune. We're gonna be activated. We're gonna be knowing what's going on in the car industry at all times. You feel me? And we definitely gonna still be checking out some sleepers here and there. You feel me? And we looking for whips, but we just want to stay ahead of the game so we know what's going on, when to buy, when to sell, when to do whatever we need to do, tune, all of that. And speaking of tune, if you're looking to tune or you're looking to modify your car, definitely get in the comment section below, or definitely get in the description below. You feel me? Click the link. I got you there, or discounted prices. You feel me? Got the music up there as well. Link is in the description. Also, if you want me to review your car, reach out. You feel me? I got my IG out there. You can just hit me up on IG. Let me know. We can work something out. I get to you. You feel me? We can politic, whatever, however it need to be done. You feel me? So definitely get in the comment section below. Let me know how you like the format, where you want it, what you want to see in the future. And also, like I said, get in the description below. You looking for clothes. Oh, matter of fact, before I get out of here, if y'all stay this long, you feel me? I got it on me right now. You feel me? So I got like 2 different ways. So this is the new shirts that will be dropping on the site. I'll be dropping it on the YouTube platform as well. So it says boost now, break later. Okay? Boost now, break later. In the back, respect the build. You feel me? Respect the build. Let me see. Do I got that on? Can you see me? Yeah, you feel me? Respect the build on the back. You feel me? Got the low excels on the John. You feel me? And this one's on the side. The boost now, break later Johns. And like, they bigger tees. Like if you working out, you doing your thing, you could put this on. But if you want to, step out too, you can put it on. You feel me? It's good quality. You feel me? The neckline is good. You feel me? It feel good. And I think it's good for the springtime, summertime, whatever. Feel me? You ain't gonna be hot in it. It's cool. You feel me? I think it look good. So we definitely gonna be dropping that. Y'all get in the comment section below. Let me know if you rock with that. And without further ado, we out of here. Peace.